know
Naomi.
if I was sleeping.
3,
But
1, 2.
regardless, I don't
Here.
know what the hell's happening to the choice. It's just not one of those days. So I found an old way I already showed you.
All right, take a seat, please. Okay, I need to give you guys some directions here because there's a little bit different than what I had told you last time, potentially. So, while I give you this instruction, so we're all on the same page here, you need to dig out the handouts we went over after the quiz last class. That would be 94, 95, 96, and 97. That's under Bellward. 94 is where we talked about the notes for graphing logarithms. 95, we talked about some notes for practicing the properties of logarithms. And then 96, 97 were both on the same page. 96 was 3.2 worksheet 1 that I did for you, and the back was 3.2 worksheet 2 that you did in class / for homework. So the plan is still the same here. As I told you last class, you would have some time to look that stuff over since you didn't have class time to absorb the information. So that's still true. And then halfway through class, which would be 50 minutes from now, we'll do the 3.2 quiz. But there is one catch to that, and that is that just with our testing time and such, somehow A-Day has 1 extra day or 2 extra days, I'm not sure, compared to my B-Day class. And so we still need to get in the test before spring break, but you guys have 1 day of flexibility. So when we get to the second half of class, I will give you the option. If you want to go ahead and do the 3.2 quiz the second half of class as we had planned, that is fine. And if, just because we happen to have the time for the flexibility, if you would rather do it the first half of class on Friday, that is an option too. So I still expect you to use the first half of class to prepare for that because, I'm giving you the class time to do that. And so if you do that and you feel ready to go, then you can go ahead and do it and get it over with. But if you want the extra time and you're willing to do it the first half of class on Friday, then again, that's an option. Not something I probably won't be able to offer that any more times the rest of the year. But again, since you guys are just had 1 extra day before spring break, in B-Day classes, I can give you that flexibility. I still expect you to turn in 96 and 97 in the Google Classroom. Again, I did 96 for you last time. 97 is what you were supposed to practice that on your own, so there's no way that you should not have those finished. So I do need you to turn those 2 in before the second half of class, whether you're quizzing today or not. Of course, when the half of class is up, I will ask you to turn in your phones and smartwatches if you're taking the quiz. If you're not taking the quiz, you're doing it on Friday, then you can keep your stuff out to study, of course. But the handout that I gave to you, I did want to share that with you because I know some people will review, and depending on how well you remember this from last year, you may only need to review 10 or 15 minutes. You may not need a full 50-minute half of class to review for 3.2. So I wanted to give you the test review early so that you have at least the option to work on it. But there is something about the test review that I need to point out. That's the handout you guys picked up on the way in. What I need to point out to you is that this review is pretty lengthy, but that's because it covers 1.9, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4. So, as of a couple years ago, that's what this test used to be. It was over 5 sections. It was a 100-point test, but a year or 2 ago, we split it up into 2 tests. So, you will only be tested over 1.9, 3.1, and 3.2 as a 50-point test before spring break. When we come back from spring break, we'll do 3.3 and 3.4 and do the other 50-point part. So if you choose to work on the test review because you're trying to be productive and you don't need to do other parts, these are the only questions that you need to worry about before spring break. 1 through 9, 11, and 13. You're welcome to try question 12. You're welcome to try question 14. But again, we just haven't reviewed that in this class this year. So if you don't remember those, just wait till we talk about them and practice them after spring break. Additionally, if you are doing that, it might make sense to do the questions that are specific to 3.2. So like question 1 is an exponential function. That's really 3.1. So that's important for your next test, but it's not important for the 3.2 quiz. Same with question 2, same with question 3, but question 4 is about logarithms. So that might be a good one to practice before the quiz, because you would have one question done on your review and also be getting a little bit of extra practice for 3.2. Same with question 5, same with question 6, same with question 7. Some of these might be more beneficial to practice before. But again, I'm just verbalizing this multiple times here because last year some students didn't catch that, and then they were trying to solve some of these equations near the end of the review, and we just haven't talked about these. So some people were stressed out the day or two before the test last year because they didn't catch that information. So, all right, so if our class started at 1:30, half of class would be at 2:20. So at 2:20, I will ask you to put up your phones and smartwatches if you're taking the quiz today. If you're not taking the quiz today, you'll just need to continue to study independently, quietly for the people taking the quiz. And if you're choosing to take it on Friday, then make sure you set a new alert to remind yourself to look that stuff over. But again, either way, unless you're ready to just take the quiz right now, you should use this class time to look over those handouts, but specifically 96 and 97. 96 and 97, those would be the two that would be most like what your quiz is going to expect out of you. So you've got some class time to do that, and of course I'm here to help. If you have questions, as always, you can call me over to your desk and I can come over, or you can bring it up here and I can help you. So, anything about the directions for today? Okay. Yes.
Do you have the papers, 95, 96, 97?
I do. Yeah, sorry, I didn't put them out.
No, that's good.
My B-Day class hasn't gotten to it yet, so I don't know anything about physicals. This was the first one, 94. 44. You'll have to watch it. Basically, just like that graph.
It's more than 24.
95.
You taking it tomorrow?
24 hours.
Whites are no longer property.
What is this?
You're not.
No, you're not. You don't know the trick. It's like, you got something like this. The coefficient. That's what I said. But apparently, look at, by that logic, look at this. And just have the log base 3 and whatever. I don't really know how that works, but
I'll tell you the problem.
the coefficient's always going to be the answer.
Language and composition. Thing.
I guess this is the coefficient.
86. I'm pretty good. I didn't turn in the language composition. Just everything.
All of it is
Y'all are something about it.
most of the students follow the rules, don't question it.
I have an 81. Oh, you're doing it? I don't remember the dog.
Well, then you need to study. It's 4.
It's 4, big dog.
If it's out front, it's 4.
Look, no.
Look,
It
it's
is.
4. Those cancel out.
These two cancel out. Those songs cancel out.
Look at that. Was it you, Joe? It's Crawford.
Is this one?
Cold. Straight off the earth.
That's zero. E to the what power?
You know what's an idiot?
What's 2 to the what power? A zero.
Zero.
X minus 3 equals 0. X equals.
The twos cancel, son. The twos cancel.
Just cancel if you use x minus 3 equals 0, and then you add 0 off to get you x.
Hey, Jack, shut up. Line it up. He's close
So if I,
enough.
when I look.
Same logic as this.
So it's gonna cancel.
It's just that,
This is
it's
this,
just that it's log base
and
2.
this number match up. Yes, so that cancels.
Okay, so
Leaving you
that's
x
what's log.
minus 3. No, log cancels out too. Log cancels out too.
I don't understand. I keep arguing with what, but I don't understand why
And
this
then
is.
you do.
So three, where do you move it?
There you go, that's the answer.
Oh, you had this one as well.
That's. What was that? I'm not in freaking stone. What did you say? I knew that.
It's all fun.
What is this code? Bro, what are you doing? Trying to get some She didn't even see it yet. Delete it, bro.
No, don't believe it. What are you doing?
No, don't delete it. Go to it, use ball.
Well, go.
We did that with
So,
oh, it's
Which one?
it's one, Jack.
This is my first day.
Dude, look. I'm locked in.
I went to the bathroom and Hunt was sitting outside the hallway. Like he had his desk out in the hallway. Sitting by himself in the hallway. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm doing timeout. He's in his whole classes in timeout. He's doing his bathroom in the hallway.
What did he
He had to bring
do?
his whole desk out in the hallway.
I wonder what he did.
Disney.
I'm gonna get it. Skipping test is actually not
What power gives you one? It's just log based.
So there's the secret.
Yeah.
Log and CFD, so this is just zero. This is one. I'm ready to rock. Double time. Sounds good to me.
Just put the solution to the test review on the website if you want to check them out.
Okay. Oh, Mr. In the grade book, I have a 0 out of 2
0 out of 2?
Yes, it's a 0. But I turned it in. They just did it on Classroom and not in person.
Okay, but now do you know the number?
92.
I'll check that.
What? Yeah, how do you know?
almost 10.
For what? What?
We created other.
What's the
Zero to the zero would be. I wouldn't do 10,
But-
because 2 to the 10th power.
Everybody's not gonna be done. No, at like, I'm like 9:30.
That's the time I was on its valid stuff. My little
I need help. Hold on, dude. Hold on. No, this is just. This is just this. Yeah, this is just what I wrote. But then what is the class?
Look.
No, this is this.
Also, look,
Just
plug this in up here. Plug it in. Oh shit.
Yeah, but look, yeah, but that's what I have. Look, that's why. Except it would be better.
You gotta flip it upside down.
That's not the attitude. That's what I'm told me that's horizontal. This will continue to infinity. Keep on going to infinity. This is what I was trying to ask.
Is this on the quiz?
Yeah.
What do you need? What do you need?
I'm just gonna ask.
Seven.
You don't know what that- you don't know how to explain it.
I can explain it.
So this is good. So what's the law?
Log is the other way around.
Would that not be inverse law?
That is the inverse of log.
A lot of these numbers don't come out nice and even, which
That
is
is
weird.
So I'm trying to graph right now.
You're trying to graph 3 of x.
It's
So what
zero.
you just graphed here
This
is
is saying log base 2 of 8, which would be.
I know, so what is that? How do you graph log?
this. So all your exponential functions do this, right? All your
I
log
thought that was
functions.
inverse of log. So inverse and log is the same.
No,
See, I don't know how
you're getting things mixed up. What is this? What is that?
What's exponential?
Anything to the zeros except zero.
Inverse.
What power of 2 would you use log?
Inverse of log is like that too.
Jet,
The inverse of exponential.
Jet,
The
what's
inverse of exponential is
2 to the first is 2, squared is 4, 2 to the third is 8.
these stupid bimbos? Oh, I already told you that. Anyway, sorry.
So,
Oh, these bimbos at Boardwalk are making me wear an ID every time I go fishing.
and 2 to the 4 is 2.
Yeah.
So,
You have to wear a lanyard with the ID on, like our school ID, to go fishing the Boardwalk. This lady came up to me, she was on the other side of the phone, she was like,
tighter.
It's not.
no,
Okay, you know
some
how
random
exponential
lady.
works, right? So basically,
Wait,
just
was it younger lady?
Also, I just put the solution.
It was the one kid's
It's the
mom,
kid's mom, yeah.
and she was
The
like,
kid got
yeah.
the snap and throw away.
I just put the solution.
What? She asked me what my address. She was like, "Do you live here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "What's your address?" I was like, "What?" And she said, "Where's your lanyard?"
what time is halfway? It's like 20 minutes.
And then she walked. Yeah. And then she walks all the way around the pond because I don't know the address. She walks all the way around the pond, comes over the bridge. Well, don't leave me like that yet. She walks all the way around the pond, and then comes up to me and she's telling me that I gotta wear the ID. And then she tells me, she was I should have said, "Where's your ID, bitch?" What do you think she said? Probably, I don't know. What crack? It was probably the donuts shop lady.
No, no. No, it's the, there's a crack house in this. So you're going out to Goshen, right? You know, like,
In Boardwalk.
I know, but she's in crackhead lady that works down in the next house. Crackhead Asian lady. She like, in those woods, like, right where you start going up to Goshen.
Oh
You know what
no.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So like, you come down next to St. Joe's, and then you go into the, you start going up again. You know, the turn off is right there after the main neighborhood. Not the apartments, but wrong section.
You're way off.
Like the light coming out of Fayetteville going into Goshen.
To the left?
Yeah, the star. And you go down that and you start going up to First Hill. You know, there's a big neighborhood out there.
On your left?
On your left, and then two people up there. She lives near there and there.
Sorry, I was in the church.
Just want to calculate.
People who don't.
The whole point is to not.
It's like a whole community.
She lives back in there. She lives back in there. She wants to stay in the next pool.
This is
I think that's supposed
That, I mean, I would.
Because you guys want to calculate.
Oh, you do your draft left and right.
There's the 6.
To hear what?
I've never actually heard of it.
I don't know the dates. I just lived it by day. Well, I probably would. Like, I feel like when you have a tool that tells you the date, you wouldn't need to know the date by memory. When you don't,
What are you talking about? What is that?
then you wouldn't remember
Okay.
the date.
Well, so 8 to the first would only be 8, so that's too small. So your answer's bigger than 1. 8 squared would be 64, which is too big. So the fact that I know the answer's between 1 and 2 tells me my answer's going to be a fraction.
Or convenience.
So on this one, I would
Like, ask
suggest
me
do
that
it
does
2
for
steps.
you.
So if you first
You feel
do,
less responsible for that thing. Therefore, you know less of it.
so you're trying to figure out 8 to what gives you 16. But if you do it 2 steps, you can raise it to a power that makes it smaller, like a half or a third. Because raising to a half is like square root, raising to a third is cube root. Square root of 8 doesn't come out to a nice whole number, so don't do that. But you could raise it to like a third, because what's the cube root of 8?
2.
Okay, and then 2 to what power would give you 16? 4. Okay, so then you just figured out you want to raise it to both of those, so you want to raise it to the 4 third.
I was wondering why it wasn't log 2 y.
You would not have been able to go if you called me before.
Well, I don't know if we've done enough logarithms to know why that works that way. But
You called me like,
are you just thinking about like the switch x and y?
like,
Okay, so you could do that, sure. But now you have to solve for this y. So we haven't done this much logarithms yet, but you could do like,
I was eating,
you could take the natural log of both sides. So now this property lets me bring this down out front. Like this. And then I could divide both sides by the natural log of 2. Now this doesn't look like this, but if you know change of base, these are the same things. Does that make sense? Are you familiar with change of base?
Yeah, that's
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's just a different way to say log of this with that base. So, but since you don't know all that, like we haven't solved equations where you have to take the natural log of both sides yet. You really just need to know the pattern between 2 to the x is log base 2 to the x, 3 to the x is log base 3 to the x.
thank you.
Johnson. When I'm trying to find like where does it y equals -1, do I just plug in like -1?
Yep.
Okay, so where would I go like to solve this?
Well, so let me write down what you have here, but I'm gonna
Sorry, it's kind of cluttered with.
no, it's fine. But I'm gonna put this on the right and this on the left because I think it's just a little easier to see. Okay, so we do very little solving equations until after spring break. But this is logarithmic form because of this. So one of the first things we did on the notes last time was talk about how to switch this from logarithmic to exponential.
I'll do this for that boy.
So you can make it not be log if you swap these two things around. So you could say 3 to the negative 1 is x plus 3.
Okay.
And this is really just 1/3. You didn't know why that's 1/3?
Because negative exponent, you can inverse it.
And then you can just subtract this 3 over. And then you know how big x is.
Okay.
So, and then if you really care to get like a common denominator here, you can say this is 9/3, subtract those, negative 8/3. So it's almost at negative 3.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've never seen that. Yeah, what do you want? Do you even know what it is?
Question.
Cole guessed it.
When something like this, where it's like +1, the plus makes it go that way.
Right.
The negative makes it go that way.
Probably
Sorry,
like 3 weeks.
negative is here, plus is there.
Every single day. Dude, I had a drink. Freaking simple things like insulated. Yeah.
That's what I've been telling you to get all up to.
No.
Yeah.
Just say,
Are you gonna take
Why don't I get those?
I'm pretty sure the shit that left and right. I'm only asking, the plus makes it go left and the minus makes it go right.
Pretty close.
Well, the whole deal was,
And then you made me pay 100.
What about those? -1 over here makes it go down. I think the thing outside of the exponent,
And
You got those decodes for free too.
I assume makes it go down.
You got those
I didn't
decodes for
pay
free.
$200 for
Who?
them. I did.
But who did you pay it to?
Jordan. I owed him. I owed him $200 for what? The decoys.
And
I paid him back.
when?
Called the decoys.
What decoys? The
Never
fancy
mind.
ones?
Just stop talking about him. He doesn't do
The
it.
breaker for Oh, you will talk. No. That's true. No, no. What would you do? Crawford. Did you figure it out? Dang it, Jeff. Give it to me.
Okay, we'll be starting the quiz in about 20 minutes.
Page.
I just got one. What do you want? Because I keep doing that. I keep on
Huh? Huh? No, it wasn't.
I think a good productive way to spend these next 20 minutes.
Well, you get it.
Actually, that's actually just such a prison. Type in the calculator.
That's what Bob Brooks did there. The logistics of why they do it.
Jet has a coaster going. And he climbs the lack of way to put the car over it. No, it's not reflected.
No, I didn't think.
Yeah, no, well, there is a log button. Oh, that's log-based template. It's more like import. Like when you have it open on the log.
I don't remember. I just have to see That's L.
Natural log.
So log-based 2.6 by itself is just 2.5.
So they use that.
No, I didn't.
Because I want to do one. Yeah. I thought log E was where X equals negative.
Yeah. If you what?
I thought the log of E.
It's really just it is exactly what it is. If you do log-based 2,
Log of E does not
then
equal
2 power 2.5 is 6.
Wait, no.
Log equals 6.
I thought it was saying natural log.
log of E equals L in.
No.
So
Log-based
so
2.6. How many?
I didn't realize that.
Ln of E.
Yes.
That's literally what I just said.
2 times log?
You said log E equals 1. This
You just said log E is natural log.
This is log. This right here is log E.
That equals natural log.
No.
Why did you write that? Why did you write that?
That equals. That's what that equals.
Okay. And then that log E
What
is.
pages are on the, where's my review?
That's the same thing. What is the same thing?
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Because it's not exactly 6, but you can round it to 6. Well, I just, well, because I just copied and pasted the decimal that had, you put in the whole answer because you stored it and put it as the power of the answer. I just put however many decimals needed.
You don't want this.
Well, technically it's stored if you just press enter. Lights went off.
Oh god.
Did you notice it? Technically, you store it when you click on this one. When you store it, it says answer, so plus 2, because it knows that I just did 2.
No, it's like the reason why you
No.
I swear, it was a blink.
Well, we have a
We're gonna pick up these
What are you talking about? Come on, don't pull up with this research shit. No.
I love
Damn it. Alright, well then you should take this.
I played MLB for sure. I played the MLB 2K. I like the
What is
main
it,
line
like a millisecond?
and MLB 2K. Bro, that's everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. It's not bad. Firebird on the dance floor is a certified maker. You don't like that? No. Talk about it. So you don't like it. It's my favorite.
I don't know.
You said the human mind is absurd.
No.
Do you know how to play a Yahtzee? I know how to Yahtzee.
Well, you don't get down. No.
You know what I played Moncala? Moncala.
He doesn't like girls. He's talking wrong girls. I would say if they're listening. Bro, every single country girl I've ever listened to drink straight Alan Jackson. What do you know? No, not my friend.
Know how to bowl?
She doesn't know Alan Jackson.
Okay. It's a good game.
Well, most people who listen to country music listen to Alan Jackson. Most people who listen to country music. I'd say like 90% sound. No. Yes, bro. If you listen to country music, you listen to Alan.
This
Queen of England is probably the sitcom
like Kirsten
grave playing
Shoney's Farm Business.
Right. Well, you got the Tony Soprano.
Watson's very famous.
Playing checkers.
Watson's very famous. What do we care about Queen?
Your turn.
Specifically, it's got to be Alan Jackson.
Checkers is such a more professional game to play. Hopefully this round.
What if she took every single one of the boxes and you were like alone with her, and then like y'all got married, and then she was like, by the way, I'm voting for Biden. I'm voting for Biden this election. What if you filed the
It's over. Oh hell no. Are you serious?
He's walking out. Oh my gosh, that's what we're playing. That's what we're playing. We're walking down the aisle.
If you ever get married, we're gonna make the list all the songs you hate.
It's gonna be all Tree Yoke. All Tree Yoke. Charlie Fires.
No.
Because the girls she talks to listen to these stuff from all Does Kate even know who Tree Yoke is? Really?
Checkers is awesome. I don't see honking buses. Who is it? Oh, chess.
What's an O-arc?
Exactly.
Like top 10, it's like you need top 1500. You gotta find the girls from the movies. Oh, dude, you got to
It's over by that spot.
Yeah. So
Do you actually have like Boondoggle?
Oh yeah.
I always find it funny that when
Oh,
I used to touch them because it's like,
Why did you go have to kill him?
would you like to make an appointment here?
That's what Coach Grog used to call Reed the field.
What time are you leaving?
2:30.
I can give it to you, but it's gonna be a little bit louder.
Okay, I put my phone on.
Do you remember the change of base formula?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Thank you.
Well, I have to write it now.
Take your
You
time.
want me to change that from that to the other base?
No, that way it forces you to.
Oh, I don't remember that. You get rid of the calculator?
Knock down the
Yeah, I
other.
don't remember. Mr. Townsend,
You have a
is the change of base formula going to be on this quiz?
Could be.
Well, what are we, is it or not?
Somewhere between yes and no.
So, yeah. It's like, it lets you move it on. Like, it brings out notice.
If, okay, well, first off, you should know the answer to this one, but if it was that,
5.
no.
1/5. That's right, you got 2.
5 times 2, but this is asking 5 to what power. But if it's not a nice whole number like this, the way you can type this in your calculator, the answer is a little bit bigger. The way you type this in the calculator, you do
it's better than
log
just.
this over log that.
Oh, log base 10.
Or
I got
with
that.
natural log. No, but we can make it multiple choice, and you can pick which one. And you can just pick which one.
I wanna let me,
Wait, do I
can
can
I, oh yeah, I can't text them.
Yes.
If you want the points, yeah.
It'll be on there.
Okay, so I'm stuck here, because if I go that way, that's gonna, whatever.
Nick, I have a feeling you
Yeah.
Because it was the on the quiz, I think about if it's flipping over the X.
That's like the worst possible thing.
So,
So,
literally asked for
I
it.
No.
Should have asked
I
for
would
it.
call the parent option to the DX. So
Look at the lyrics.
fixed axis. Yeah.
So it would be a negative for the two.
Correct. If you're only flipping over the y-axis, it's just the x.
Johnny got that.
So it'd be like 2 to the negative x.
Okay.
She got 2 kings.
Wait, let me see her. Let me
I
see
could
her.
probably get 2 kings.
You don't.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Power burner. What's her name? Logan? Yes.
I don't know.
That should be a red flag.
It was.
Logan what?
She ain't that bad. Just cause she charges fire burner?
And then, so then it'd be 1 plus 2.
Wait, what just happened?
No.
So that she's not moving.
She definitely not moving.
Oh, man.
No, this is shorty fire burner.
Me neither. I literally never seen her before.
No, wait, that's cheating. Interference.
Where random. Found it.
Iowa?
Iowa.
Who's the one you saw in the gas station?
Oh.
Kelly Ridges? She's a Mayflower. She is the booties.
Mayflower's pretty booty.
She's booty girl. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, she's a real booty. What?
Just loves the folk. Oh.
Where am I going with this? Oh, is it 14? Okay, it's 14.
Yeah.
No, it's not 120 inches.
I'm gonna laugh at it. It's technically.
I'm gonna last.
First of all, if I see a spike that's
You're not shooting, are you?
Yes, I am. Especially one.
Okay, I'll be asking you if you want to do the quiz today in about 9 minutes.
9 minutes, guys.
9 minutes is
I just like the way the brash looks. Remember that, Cole? Oh, yeah, I will.
Checkers is a card game with the type of yeah, it's a lot more simple, but it's the fact that it's so simple that makes it so. What Los Angeles is so bad. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah,
That there is a
3 kings.
red.
3.
You ever smoked one of them ones?
So you, with those, you have to identify.
How those are.
That looks like a freaking cinnamon too.
Like the individual.
That's where I shoot.
Yeah.
No, what? You just don't.
Where's that? Narnia.
Now, what is that?
What is that? That's just a wisdom, bro.
It's a stormy. It's the full white house.
Am I stuck?
That's what I'm saying. What
Oh,
I'm
I'm stuck. I think I can do all
That's
this.
what a stormy is.
Look, this is intentional. You're literally just flipping it off.
It's in my.
You're like
Dude, I haven't.
Yeah, look at
I haven't.
yourself. No, look, this is, you're just doing this.
I
I should have
haven't.
been told you could have that.
I haven't.
There you go.
What are you talking about?
It's not that I don't like people doing that. I just think it's funny.
Watson, what's going on?
You don't want to know.
It's just.
Dude.
Shorty fire burner. Shorty fire burner.
Don't look at pictures.
It's playing. What's Let me see the playlist. Let me see the playlist.
I think Cole should do this with religion.
I like the ones that are flying and hanging them too. That's what I want.
You ever see my face?
Oh,
Like when
yeah.
you turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you say?
Why is Hank Williams?
What?
4 kings was just
Why is he on the cover? What do you mean you want?
to go around.
Yes.
Like Genghis Khan.
Where is that? Look at old Bradley.
That's your dad.
That's his dad.
Your dad has a mustache?
No, you're not.
That top is good.
Yes, sir. He's in my playlist.
He's got bangers, man.
He's got some great bangers, man.
Parker McComb. What?
What?
Where'd you go? Oh, right.
Other job? What do you mean?
He's
Oh, this is weird. Why'd you do this?
Oh yeah. Right there was,
So Mr. Townsend, the only things that are gonna be on this quiz are basically 96 and 97. Am I correct? Or is it all the stuff with exponential?
Well, the stuff on 94 shows up on 96 and 97. The stuff on 95 shows up on 96 and 97.
The quiz looks the most like 97.
On this one, and now
Never heard
the
that
other one. And so
I'll take it.
I just don't know how.
Okay, well, natural log means log base.
bang.
Yes, the only thing that's wrong with that.
Yeah. That's bang.
What are you just flip some of the examples?
So we need to have
You never heard that song? You gotta get on there.
negative one.
Oh yeah.
You either to say this is negative,
Okay, alright. Smart.
this would be one, and you
Smart.
Okay, we need to start moving that way to make sure that you got half the class. So again, I have no preference whether you do it today or the very first part of class on Friday, but if you're doing it today,
You need to clear your desk off, and you need to put your phones and smartwatches up to the side of the room, please.
I don't know, 50-50 ultimately.
We can decide right now.
Mr. Townsend, what do you think?
if I was unsure, I probably would.
Okay,
Nah,
let's
I
just
just-
say
Wait,
On
you're
Friday?
not gonna study the English download today.
This is true. We'll send
Or
it.
Friday, some people will be doing the quiz if they don't do it today, and then test review, and then people who do the quiz today will just have more time to do the test review. It's the same amount of work in all of them.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. No, I'm gonna sit right here.
Or restocked or whatever.
Only 96
So that was just a few sides of that one.
Y'all are going today? Okay, if you're choosing to wait until Friday, that is perfectly fine, but of course I need you to work and study quietly for the people taking the quiz. If they finish with more class time left, I will of course let you know, but until then, please stay quiet. Also, let me say just before I forget, those of you taking the quiz today, on Friday when everybody else is taking it, you'll just have some more class time to work on the test review. And of course, if you're not taking it today, you'll be doing the quiz, so. I will add though that if you're taking the quiz on Friday, you might need to update your planner or whatever so that you don't forget about it.